Georgia O'Keeffe was a really fantastic watercolorist. She also did a lot of oil paintings. These are specifically watercolors of hers. She liked to paint nature, but she liked to paint nature in a way that was really, really up close. She's very famous for these flowers that she does, where she watercolors them super close up. So what I want you to do today is find yourself a piece of paper, and then you're going to draw out a flower, but like super close up. Now, if you can't do a rod petaled kind of orchid flower like this, it's okay to do like a circle with a series of leaves that go around the outside, as long as the petals are big enough for you to mix some watercolors in. Now, you see I'm drawing on my floor. I'm not looking at anything for reference. I'm just kind of making this flower up as I go. I'm giving it some shapes on the inside, some shapes on the outside, and then setting myself up to have some space to play around with the colors. Then I'm gonna draw myself a stem and a few leaves going on with it. Now I choose to ink mine. You don't have to ink yours if you're really against it, but it's always good practice for inking other things later. So I generally ink everything that I can, unless I think it's really going to take away from the process. But if you're not enjoying the inking, or if you think it will look better without the black lines in the middle of your drawing, then that's okay to skip out on inking it. Get my watercolors out, I'm going to start by wetting all my colors I'm going to use. It's a little counterintuitive because normally I tell you to only wet things as you go, but with this we want the colors to really flow around a lot so they mix a little bit and they stay spread out and really light. So I'm putting a bunch of water in everything. Now it's important that when you're done with this, keep your watercolor tray nice and flat while everything dries back down to solid. So once you wake it up with the water, it's going to turn into a liquidy paint. It's going to be kind of runny, and you don't want to pick it up and twist it around and spill those colors out into different areas. Now in this one kind of flower petal in particular, I wet it with some water before I put any paint on it at all. You don't have to do that, and I'm trying to show you guys the difference between doing that in advance and then just painting on it directly with some really wet watercolors. So you'll see when I move on to my other flower petals, colors don't move quite as much, but at the same time, I have much more control over what goes where. Now, while that one is still wet, what I'm going to do is clean my brush out. I'm going to go back and get a different color and blend it in towards the back, and then kind of use a little bit of water and just kind of work the transition between the two colors so they kind of blend and smoosh together nice and seamlessly. One of the potential downfalls you want to look out for is adding too much water though. So if at any point you're painting over an area and you start to see little flecks of paper coming up from your paintbrush rubbing back and forth, you want to like leave that area alone for a little while until it dries out, and then you can go back in and add more color over the top. Now this petal in the back here I didn't pre-wet, so you can see the paint is not moving as quickly as it was on the other one, but it's giving me a much brighter, more vibrant purple color. Now as I move to the inside of my flower, I'm going to start picking colors that are going to contrast the petals so that they stand out very brightly. Yeah, actually, I choose to do my grass. Sorry, doing the voiceover afterwards. But yeah, so for here, I would just put down a base coat of green, and then I go back later. I put in a highlight in a dark area. But then I move on to the inside of my flower, and I pick colors that are going to contrast with the purple. So I work mostly in oranges and some yellows. Right, so take your time with this, have some fun with it, make some interesting flowers, and remember, you don't have to make your flowers look like my flowers. They can look like whatever kind of flower you want. If you want to go out and look at flowers while you're doing this, there are a few that are poking up through the grass. But for the most part, you can just make up your flower as you go and try and make it as flower-like as you can. Right? Good luck, take your time, and don't rush. And make sure you take good care of your paints. We'll probably have like 1.5 more paintings if we can get them out of it. And remember, if you do use up all your paint, and I'm showing you a painting project later, you can always color that in with your colored pencils, or you can use different watercolors if you have them at home, or markers, or whatever else you can get your hands on that you can color with. Okay, take it easy. Good luck on this, and I'll see you guys again soon.